My Service Force members, just want to thank you again for taking the time out of your busy days to come and visit with us here, and we're looking forward to being a valuable resource to the MSF membership as time goes on, and hopefully this information, again, you find it to be pretty useful. A little bit about me. I know you don't want to hear any more kind of intro stuff, but the reason we were invited is because we have been growing a very successful local business marketing firm, and my business partner and I have been doing marketing for on the internet since really the mid-90s, even before most people began using the internet. We predate Google, if that's even conceivable. We've helped literally thousands of local businesses over the last 15-plus years and become more, build their presence online, and we truly enjoy the idea of helping local businesses or, frankly, anybody that we call a client. So even if you don't become a client, feel free to ask us questions. Feel free to make use of us as a resource because we do look forward to your success. All right, so in a brief summary here, what we're going to cover is just to kind of give you a sense of why we put this material together, what the past marketing has looked like, what present marketing is looking like, and then, you know, really the crux of everything is how to build your brand online, online using the right methods. So, you know, for those of you that have been building your businesses over any kind of history, it used to be a lot simpler. Marketing in the past was basically, you know, you bought your Yellow Page ad and business cards, and maybe you had a sign on your trucks, and that was about it. You could do it yourself, yeah, or certainly your service manager or your general manager or what have you could organize that process. Your office manager. That is unfortunately not as true today. Just to put it in some kind of sense for you, and I don't expect there's no test at the end, so don't try and memorize this. This is a visual representation of just some of what they call the local search ecosystem. This is the network of websites that actually are out there for people to do searches on. And you know, obviously, this does not include your own website, and it doesn't really even include Google for that part. It's Google Plus is what's listed here. So this is just a concept of it, and it's very complicated compared to what it used to be, which was very simple. So in order for you to get a good sense of how to generate leads, you need to understand that your prospects have many different options of where to go find possible solutions. And what they are looking for is they're looking to answer a couple of key questions before they choose a provider. They're looking to find somebody that performs the type of service they do or they're looking for, right, solves their problem. They're looking for somebody that's local to their area, and they're looking for somebody that they can trust. In other words, who has a good reputation. So keep that in mind as we move forward because it's actually a very easy thing to link together with what I'm going to be saying in a few minutes. But the fragmentation of that whole local search ecosystem means that it's very complicated for you guys to work on, and it actually has caused considerable confusion even among marketers who are newer to the system, newer to the process. There's good news, though. Good news is that if you can key in on the things that you need to do, you can generate a tremendous amount of new business, and it represents a big opportunity for you, and even a competitive advantage to folks doing things right. So, all right. Before we get started, before I get into the actual material on how to do this the right way, I wanted to give you a word of caution. And I want to just give you, you know, not everything that's here is going to be common knowledge. Be careful. If you engage an online marketing firm of any kind, an SEO firm, a website firm, be very careful of how they do things because in many cases, by the time somebody gets to us, they've gotten so many problems that we have to repair before we can even start to rebuild. And a couple of the key things are what they call micro websites. A lot of web companies are going to offer to build you extra websites, several websites, multiple websites, keying in on all kinds of different things. That's a bad idea. And a simple analogy I can give you is this. If it were a great idea, guess who would have a million websites? Amazon, right? Amazon is one of the largest e-commerce retailers in the world, and they have one website. Why? Because they built a brand that is dominant, and that's ultimately what you want to end up with. All right? Next thing is say no to excessive call tracking on what are called profiles. I'm going to get into that in a little bit, but this can be very confusing to not only your future prospects, but it can be confusing to all of the different databases and things like that that are going to link to these. You're going to probably want to have somebody knowledgeable figure out how to use call tracking on these different aspects. Hopefully your marketing firm can guide you through. And the last thing I would say is say no and say heck no to excessive link building. Some link building done by properly knowledgeable people is going to be a fantastic thing, as we'll see. But there are, and you probably all receive emails from this, from various marketers on a regular basis. I know we do on behalf of clients, probably dozens a day. You know, pay $199 and get submitted to 1,000 something or others or whatever. That's just no. Just say no to that, okay? So, all right, so now we've got the things that are bad to do, you know, out of the way. Let's get into what is good, right? Everybody on this call, and for the most part, most people that use the Internet are familiar with Google, and we're going to key in on Google here at this point because Google still represents the vast majority of searches done by your future prospects. Google has issued a set of rules, okay? We're not making this up. This is directly from Google. It's a 160-page document. You can go find it if you like on your own. We've used our own research to find it, and it's basically the rules by which the Google employees themselves evaluate websites after, you know, their automated algorithms get finished with them. So when in doubt, Google's own people go in and use the following rules to evaluate websites. So if it's good enough for them, it should be good enough for us, should be good enough for you, and, you know, there are hundreds and hundreds of our clients using this stuff to great success. So expertise, authority, and trust, really simple acronym. I know it's getting to be that time of the day here on the East Coast where I'm starting to think about dinner, so I'm getting a little hungry. EAT is a good reminder, all right? Expertise, authority, trust. We're going to cover each one of those in just a second. First, expertise. Okay, so what does expertise have to do with? Well, expertise is what you say about yourself, okay? How do you demonstrate that you know what you're doing? In a heating and air company, it could be that, you know, you're describing various services or you're telling people how different problems are solved and so forth. It comes down to, on the Internet, comes down to content, okay? Content are the words that are being put into different website pages. And the steps to building expertise on the Internet are three: branded website, dynamic content, and added, you know, additional content. So let's cover each one of those. The foundation for everything on the Internet, literally everything on the Internet, is your branded company website, okay? And what you need to have on it are a couple of key areas. You need to have all of your contact information. This is called your name, address, and phone number, first off, and we're going to get into that in just a minute as well further. You need to have certain pages. You need to have a home page. You need to have an About Us page, a contact page, preferably with a form that somebody can submit something to. You need to have a description of your services. And if you want to get into more and more services, you need to have a specific page for each one of them, and even breaking those down into multiple over time if you can. You need to have a service area which demonstrates what areas you do work in, what local cities you service. You want to integrate it into, you want to have links basically to your social media profiles, like your Google Plus page, your Facebook page, your Twitter page, and your LinkedIn page. We're going to talk about those in just a second as well. You want to have the ability to make changes. So this gets to where we start talking about control. So you want to have the ability to control the content that goes into your website. Doesn't mean you have to do it. You can have your web firm create all the content, do all the updates. That's completely up to you. But you should at least have the ability to make changes through a login or what have you. And we generally recommend content management systems. That's what CMS stands for, content management system, such as WordPress. WordPress used to be a blog platform. Now it has evolved into a very, very strong content management system that multiple, hundreds of thousands, if not multiple million websites are based on. You want to also, and this is probably one of the most important things here, you want to have control of your own domain and your own hosting. Again, you can have access to those things, or you can actually, keep them completely for yourselves. But you want to control your domain. If somebody actually gets control of your domain, everything else could potentially be lost, because all they have to do is change some pointers, and then they take control of it completely away from you. So branded company website is the most important thing you can have online. I'm not discounting your Facebook page or any of that kind of stuff. Those are all very helpful if you run different things in those in those platforms. But your website is the single most important thing online. It represents your brand. You control it, and it's ultimately what you want to build. All right, dynamic content, and some of you probably get bombarded with offers from SEO firms. That's called search engine optimization. And if I had 400 hours, I couldn't adequately describe how much inaccuracy of information there is permeating everywhere about what constitutes search engine optimization. It is not as difficult as you hear it is. What happens often is that people try to use scare tactics in order to get you to cough up money to do certain things. It all comes down to giving the search engines what they want, and what they want is what I said earlier. It's for the customers. When they do research, they're looking for who services my area, who does the work I need, or who solves my problem, and who can I trust. And that's the information that also satisfies, amazingly, Google's EAT, right? Expertise, authority, trust. They correspond to each other, and SEO is the basis for what that comes down to. Now, dynamic SEO, dynamic content is a fairly new idea that I'm essentially describing to you, a tool that we've built, co-built, that allows you to leverage your team members through dynamic content every day as part of the jobs that they do. And you can see on the right-hand side here the outcome of that. If you may actually be able to pull this search up right now as you go. If you do AC Tune-Up Birmingham, Alabama, now it's the winner right now. I'm not sure if the AC part will work today, but this is a company that's been a long-standing client, and they are using the system to generate dynamic content into what we call those city pages, service area pages, and they dominate for virtually any search you do in and around their service area because of this dynamic content in association with the reviews. And we're going to get to reviews in a minute when we talk about trust. Okay, so service summaries, before and after photos, and reviews are all useful to become dynamic content. Now, you don't have to use the tool we built. You can use your own methodology to generate that type of content, but that is the type of content that you want to use to build dynamic, updating material that the search engines find to have good frequency and good relevance for their future prospects, researchers online. That's what's going to get you more relevance and demonstrate your expertise, as we're talking about. Lastly, additional content. In all honesty, there is no limit. Consider content to be a limitless idea because you can have a website that has 5 pages. You can have a website that has 500 pages. In fact, the example that I just showed you, I think that website has probably 500 pages, if not more. That gentleman has been working on his website through us for probably 5 years, and he regularly has us create new content for him. He's always coming up with new ideas. Some of the examples of demonstrable expertise in the form of content are articles you may write about, different topic areas. Again, detailed service area, service page descriptions. So what are the services you offer? And you get really, really targeted with that information. Various blog posts that kind of give you an update of what you're doing in and around the community and so forth. Newsletters. These are types of resource-type materials. Press releases that you may, you've won an award. You may put that out in something. Or just general resource guides. You've come up with some kind of top 10 ways to fix this problem or ways to prevent this problem. Those are all really good examples of additional content. There is never a limit to how much expertise you can show to the world, and specifically your future prospects when it comes to your internet content. All right, so that's it. Those 3 steps. Again, expertise is based on having a foundational website, preferably having dynamic updating content, and then ultimately long-term building of content over time through various examples like I just described. The second thing is authority, and authority is basically what the internet says about you as a whole. So what are you known for is really the key idea there. And the way you get that is through something called citations. Citations, otherwise known as links, but you've got to be very careful when it comes to links. I'll talk about that in just a second. The steps to building this are getting your name, address, and phone number across the internet consistently. You want to have that be updated and be consistent, and then additional citations as you move forward. So, profiles, this is what we started talking about earlier: Facebook, Google+, LinkedIn, Twitter, Yahoo, Bing, Angie's List, CitySearch, Yelp, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. The list goes on. There are probably 300 to 500 different places that you can get listed, and then it just expands from there into different things that you can get involved with and so forth. The key among them, again, is to get the consistency across all of these things. Specifically, Google Plus page and your Facebook page are some of the most important in terms of determining how well your consistency is known across these various different media outlets. Again, social media sites like Twitter and LinkedIn are also very helpful. There is an idea called claiming that allows you to actually own that profile, and once you do, then you ultimately have control over what it says, and you also generally have the ability to respond to anything that somebody writes about you. That's especially useful and true on sites like Yelp and so forth that are review-centric, Angie's List, et cetera. All right, so building additional citations. Like I said earlier, you want to be very, very careful of this. It's an imperative in today's internet that somebody do this for you, but you have to be extraordinarily careful. Please be careful on how and who you have do this. I can't tell you, I would say at this point it's probably between 25 and 35% of our clients, new clients, come to us with a problem in this area. We have to go in and do what's called an audit and reconcile and fix. There is a tool called Disavow that actually helps us to do that. But ultimately, if you cannot have that problem, you're better off, right? If you can build a foundation from the ground up using the right methods, you're always better off than having to go back and fix things that have been problematic. So please take care in this. Do your research. Make sure you use a reputable, experienced marketer to do any kind of citation or link building for you. All right, so again, just to review, authority is the second of the EAT acronyms, and the 2 methods to do that are to get your name, address, and phone number consistency across the internet, and then secondly, to build additional citations. That is definitely not a self-serve concept, though. And finally, trust. EAT, T means trust, and what this is basically is, what do your customers have to say about you? What do your past clients have to say about you? Ultimately, they are the best way to convince new people that you are somebody worthy of them paying for some service. The way you get this is reviews. Some people call them testimonials. Some people call it service surveys. There is actually a slight difference. A review is actually something that is third-party verified. A testimonial is something that you can take yourself. Reviews are more powerful than testimonials because, again, you didn't take it, and it's third-party verified, so there's one step removed between you and the customer. The customer can feel more at ease of giving the truth. So reviews are really very powerful, and the steps to building your reputation and trust are proactively requesting reviews. This is something maybe new to you. I'll explain in a second. Balance internally developed reviews and externally developed reviews, and then monitor what people are saying and respond if necessary. Okay, so proactively requesting reviews. What do you need to do? You need to make sure that every person you service, every customer you finish a job for, you confirm that you've done a fantastic work. You've done a 5-star worthy service, and then you need to ask them for a review. Now, there are different methodologies to asking for a review. We have a built-in tool that allows that to happen very, very simply along with generating that dynamic content. But there are other methods if you so choose. Okay, every satisfied customer can build your online reputation and be the convincing factor to influence another prospect to become your new customer. 90%, this is not my numbers, this is well-known internet stuff, between 88 and 90% of all future customers are going to do some type of research looking for reviews in order to decide who they ultimately work with. You want them to find you as a review. This is going to be a little bit of an interesting idea for many of you. The idea of balancing internal and external reviews. What do I mean by internal? I mean reviews that actually are on your website. Google came out with something called, well, Google didn't come out with it, but Google and the other search engines use something called schema. It's a method of formatting content on your website, and they know when something is a review. And if you build your service area and review pages and automate the reviews to go into your website using the appropriate formatting, you can actually show up on the search engines with those review stars, like I showed you in that search result a couple of slides ago. That is extraordinarily powerful for demonstrating trust and driving somebody from a local search to go to your website and ultimately pick up the phone and call you. Ideally, that's what you want. Everybody on this call wants more phone calls, and that's ultimately what drives it, is if you can show up on the search engines in the local search areas with that trust and win that customer over even before, you know, they have an opportunity to look anywhere else. That has to be balanced, though, with external reviews. You want to get external reviews to places like Google+, Yelp, you know, YP.com, Merchant Circle, Angie's List, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And some places are more important than others depending on where you live. Yelp is very important on the West Coast, not as much on the East Coast. Google+ is becoming more important everywhere just because Google prefers it. So you always want to play with you know, with what Google's rules are. But again, balance. So most people are familiar with the idea of reviews. Most people are familiar with the idea of reviews to external websites. What they aren't familiar with is this concept of having an automated way to publish the reviews onto your own website, and that gives you the ability to generate your own branding on those local search pages and show up with the stars and really dominate those different things. Finally, monitoring your reputation online is really an imperative. If you start using these different ideas, you want to know what people are saying because you're going to be asking quite a few. In many cases, we have clients asking, you know, 10 to 15 to 20 different people a day for reviews, and that ultimately builds up quite a few over time. You need to have a tool at your disposal, and there are many of them out there, to monitor what people say 24/7, 365. Ultimately, you want to get notified of those as frequently as once a day, preferably by email or something like that, maybe a text message. It's ultimately up to you. And then you want to have the ability to respond in a timely and appropriate manner. so that, you know, you're heading off any potential misconceptions that have the opportunity to develop out there on the internet. Okay, so again, trust is the final of the three acronyms: expertise, authority, trust, Google's rules. The three steps to the trust are, let me back up, forgot real quick, requesting reviews proactively, internal and external review balance to your website and then to the external review sites, and finally monitoring your reputation so you can respond appropriately. Now, I hope you don't mind, but I have our own little tiny plug here. We offer solutions to all of those ideas: expertise, authority, trust, and the website foundation. We can do all of that or none of it for you, completely up to you. New MSF clients get a 3-month discount on any packages as a result of being on this call today. So I welcome you to join our growing client roster. And finally, I want to just take a moment to thank you for being here, and again, thank my host, Sean, and our sponsor for allowing me to come on and hopefully provide you with some education. I know I talked pretty fast and there was quite a bit of material there, but do feel free to contact us with any follow-up questions, or you can stay here. And my business partner, Mark Sherwin, will stay on and answer any questions you might have. Okay? And again, thank you very much.
Excellent presentation, Bob. This is Sean from My Service Force again. It was really, really excellent, and I thank you very much for giving us your time and your expertise here. So let's go into some Q&A. I'm going to change this back to me in case. Oh, actually, Bob changed it back to me here, I think. Give me a second, guys. There we go. So if we have to review any slides, we can go do that. Mark, are you with us? Mark from LeadsNearby, are you with us, Mark? Mark, you there?
I am.
Mark, oh, great, great.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
All right, there we go.
Absolutely. Welcome again, Mark. So do we have any questions from the crowd? You may see a chat button at the bottom here. It might be the easiest way to put those questions in. Anybody who wants can put one in. I'm going to actually, in the meantime, ask a question. So, Mark, how long have you and Bob been in business at LeadsNearby?
We've been together for about 5 years.
Oh, nice.
Working on our 5th year together. Bob referenced that. I'm pretty sure I think he mentioned that he invented the internet on this call, but I'm not sure. It might have been Al Gore. But we've been together for quite a while. A little history on Bob and I. We work for one of the largest SEO firms in the country. We work for an interactive Yellow Pages firm here locally in the Raleigh market as well. So we have a lot of experience from a local perspective as well as a search engine optimization perspective. In the search engine optimization world, I was in charge of kind of the usage, the on-site, the marketing, that whole side of it, and Bob was the technical side. He understood how the search engines worked, and at that point in time, we were a pretty strong team.
Nice. That's a great story. How many contractors do you think your company has helped increase revenue in that period of time? Oh, awesome.
We've worked with thousands of clients specifically to contractors, hundreds. You know, I started this company at the point in time. I had a guy come out to my house, and I spent $15,000 on Windows, and it was probably about 5 or 6. It was closer to 7, 8 years ago now. But I didn't hear from that guy for 3 years. Never once did I hear any marketing material. I heard him on the radio trying to get new clients and offering them specials, but I thought, where's the loyalty? I spent this kind of money with you. Where was my loyalty? So the original thought process behind this was generating loyalty and helping clients see that. And then it blossomed into understanding what loyalty was. And part of that was when somebody says something nice about you, gives you a really good review, there's an inherent bit of loyalty that is built in. You have it. It is there. They remember you the next time they go about to make a decision on their heating and air conditioning, their electrician, their plumber, whatever it is, they're making that decision based on a historical standpoint in their mind. Hey, I said something nice about this guy. Let me give him a call first. Loyalty. Great.
So Daniel had asked for me to bring the rate page up, and I did just do that. Before I ask Daniel if he has any further questions on the rate page, I wanted to maybe expand on the point you just made there about how many contractors you've helped. Service companies, contractors, most of the trade types at the MyServiceForce.com Business Center are HVAC companies, plumbing, electrical, appliance, pool and spa maintenance, garage door, commercial companies that do maybe mechanical services and even installation. And then on the residential side, we have a lot of home services companies which are multi-trade type. They might have even as many as 4 or 5 trades. Does your company have any experience helping those trade types as well as contractors who do installation? And what would you say your balance is in terms of your clientele?
Since we started off, the first couple of clients were heating and air guys. We quickly grew in that space. So we're about 50% mix right now of heating and air guys.
Nice.
That doesn't include some of the guys that do the triple trades or double trades, heating and air and plumbing, heating and air and electric. I got guys that just do electric and AC down in Florida. I got one guy that just does AC down in Florida. So it runs the gambit. I've got everything on the system right now. I got a veterinarian to the ballet studio using this system. So we concentrate. Our core market is obviously the service trades, but it can extend out to others as well.
No, that's good. That seems to mirror the MyServiceForce.com Business Center membership. Great. So, Daniel, we brought up the rate page for you. Did you have any further questions on the rate page? Happy to hear them here. And feel free to just shout them out if you like, because I think we're cool with the number of people that are on the line. Nope, you're good? Okay. I did have maybe a couple other questions. What does it take in terms of time for a service company to see a difference in their revenue from the LeadsNearby marketing approach?
That sounds like a setup question. My answer is a setup answer. That's an absolutely awesome question to ask. I never want somebody to sign up with my program who thinks, hey, I'm going to give this guy $300 and then and Mark's going to call Google and I'm going to get all these leads and I'm going to pay for that $300 and then, that was my last $300 that I had. That's not what we do. This is an investment. This is something that I want you to realize. You know what, guys? Everybody's in front of their own computer right now. I got a few people left on this call. I'm going to try to make this interesting. Go to Google. If you're in front of your computer, on your phone, whatever it is, type in Atlanta electrician. My client is again, I don't know if you've done this search before, but on my screen and when I talk to any client, my client is #1 in the natural search, TE certified electricians. And I'm telling this story because I'm going to answer your question, but just know that wasn't overnight. Those stars that he's generated, that authority and trust that he's earned has helped him propel himself to the top of the Atlanta electrician marketplace. If anybody knows anything about the Atlanta area, it's a real tough place to get top positioning. Please note, he is not located in Atlanta. He services the Atlanta area.
Oh, that's really impressive.
And that didn't happen overnight.
So that didn't happen overnight. But
so I tell my clients.
What's the expectation? Go ahead.
Yeah, I tell my clients 3 months. You will start noticing a dramatic impact in where you're found. It is not a lead faucet. All of a sudden something turns on, oh my gosh, the phones have all jumped up. It is not. But you'll start seeing it, you'll start noticing it. Quote unquote, the other day, a client called up, hey Mark, we're 3 months in. I got two calls this month from the internet. That's really great, but I was kind of expecting some more. And I say, talk to me next month. Next month it was 4 or 5. All of a sudden, now he's getting 30 calls a month that he never would have gotten before just because of the consistency of using our program. All he's using is my review program. These are the same guys that are now adding to their bottom line. They've grown their business. They've doubled, tripled, et cetera. They are adding trucks. They are adding people, employment, just from using our system. The cost value associated with my program at even the $300 level is insane when it comes to, wow, I can't believe I'm getting all this. I had a client not long ago, he's still with me, but he actually said, Mark, I don't believe the results that I've gotten from you. I'm paying too little for them. And he went out and hired an SEO firm for $2,500 a month. I'm watching his ranking reports. No discernible difference.
That's a very impressive example for the LeadsNearby approach. So perhaps what's interesting then, if you're managing expectation to a service company, give it at least 3 months until you start to see some results. Since we're on the rate page, the myserviceforce.com Business Center members, they get that first 3 months for free. So they really have quite a risk mitigated offer here on the table. So thank you guys for putting that together.
I've actually, and I'll take that one step further. This is our first call, and I want to make an impact. Just so you are aware, everybody understands, there are no contracts associated with any of our programs. See a price on our website, that is a month-to-month contract.
Nice. So this really is a risk-free offer then.
It is.
That's amazing. Good stuff. We at the Business Center, we are always sort of looking for companies that could be partners to help the service companies in our membership and prospective members increase business. That is one of the #1 things that members tell us they're looking to do. How can they increase their revenue and hence their profit? And we were glad that 2015 started off with an educational series of webinars here with LeadsNearby. We think it's one of the easiest ways and most cost-effective ways for a service company to get rolling. What is your thought, maybe another question here, what is your thought on the balance of what I might call traditional marketing versus modern-day marketing in a service company? So you might run into a service company and they're spending money in old-fashioned yellow page ads. What advice do you give folks right off the bat for balance?
It all depends on your area. Client of mine down in Louisiana, I just found out that he's dropping an ungodly number. I couldn't believe the number I heard in direct mail, and it's because of his not as quite technically savvy down there as maybe in the Raleigh, North Carolina market or Sarasota, Florida, or someplace like that. Those are so you have to answer your question, it's a little bit of understanding the marketplace. First and foremost, is it an interactive marketplace? Are there people walking around staring at their smartphones all day? You have to understand that first. Traditional marketing, I come from a traditional marketing background. It's what I did when I first broke into sold radio and television way back in the day. It seems like forever ago, but you know what I used to tell people in the radio and television ads is I can make any ad work. It's a good place to be. It's excellent branding. You want to have your name out there. You want to have your truck seen, etc. But what are you offering? If you expect that medium to work, you better have an offer that gets people to say, yeah, I can't live without that. So it's there's a lot of different differences of opinion. I do not recommend to any of my clients, do not just do my program. You still have to run a business. You still have to talk to your marketing guys. You still have to talk about, to the newspaper guys. Still got to maybe send out a direct mail piece. Don't forget your current clients. They're a gold mine, if you ask me, on generating new business as well as repeat business. All of those things come into play. I had a client not long ago, guys, I'm full of stories, so bear with me, but I had a client not long ago leave me. Quote unquote, Mark, I'm just not getting the leads from the internet that I anticipated. What else are you doing to help generate those leads? Well, just you guys. That's not a business. You can't just rely on the internet. I know if anybody here is using any kind of pay-per-click or doing any kind of notation on the traffic that they're getting to their website, not everybody calls you when they get to the site. Not everybody calls you that clicks on your ad. You can't just do one thing. A good marketing mix makes all the difference.
See, and I thought that was important to mention because I'm not sure that came through loud and clear in this presentation, but I think the membership would like to know that.
I agree.
And I also know, because I know your company, LeadsNearby, that you guys have that belief. And I think it's very, I think it's very concerning for service companies to think that they're going to go all in just one new area like the internet in their marketing plan, when in fact that's not what LeadsNearby is about. It's really about balance. So that was a great answer. Thank you. Well, that was all the questions I had for today. Did you have any more parting words, Mark?
Guys, Bob mentioned it early on in the call. We love talking to service companies. I love talking to them. Love ideas. I talk to enough of them that I can have a pretty intelligent conversation about anything that you're doing within your industry. I understand what a capacitor is. I know what a compressor does. I know what a blower wheel is. I know the problems with Federal Pacific, boxes, panels, excuse me. I understand there's a water heater, thing coming up in April where all the water heaters get 2 inches bigger. I know what's going on a lot within your industry. The conversation with us is free, hopefully intelligent, and if I can show you some successes with all my other clients, I'll gladly do so and give you guys that knowledge. And even if we're not the choice, at least you're walking away with some good quality content, good quality thought process, something you can take to your marketing firm.
Well, that's great. Thank you very much. I think everybody probably can appreciate that. I want to thank everybody today for attending the webinar. We will be doing a follow-up presentation with LeadsNearby in another month. Watch out for materials for them. Watch out for updates on the MyServiceForce.com Business Center for the LeadsNearby partnership. And also like to thank our sponsor again, True Wireless, for making today possible. Appreciate it very much, everybody. We're going to sign off for now, but we look forward to doing many, many more of these. We think 2015 is going to be a great year for our educational webinar series. Thanks again. See you soon.